there is a very big risk of governments and central banks thinking that inflation will be contained by destroying demand from the private sector. Demand destruction from the private sector is certainly a very big risk. And more importantly, the big problem is that governments are not wanting to reduce their spending. Current spending and enormous stimulus plans remain, and at the same time, that means more consumption of newly created reserves. The central banks are taking a very accommodative position by being behind the curve in rate hikes and also slow in reducing repurchases of bonds. But if governments and central banks expect demand destruction to be the force that drives inflation down, it generates a much bigger problem afterwards, because fiscal deficits soar, private consumption and investment weaken, and therefore the economy weakens much faster than what many would expect. There is no such thing as the soft landing, and the creation of new reserves that governments consume is higher because deficits increase. So there is absolutely no good idea in expecting inflation to be curbed through demand destruction, because demand destruction is likely to generate a much bigger problem, which is the possibility of a crisis.